All right, guys, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. So glad you guys are able to hop on. Today we have our intern, Miss Raquel Mayo, with us. So I am going to turn it over to her really quick, and she is going to get started with our Wellness Wednesday.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so this Wellness Wednesday, I'm going to be introducing you to some resources to help you better manage your healthcare. I want to be talking about what advocating means to you and how you can advocate for yourself in your healthcare appointments. So I'll start out with a kind of open question. What does advocating for yourself mean to you? What does it mean to advocate for yourself?
Speaking up for yourself.
Perfect. That's exactly what it is. It's just speaking up for yourself, right? And anything that you might need. In terms of healthcare, you think about anything that your body might need, anything that you feel, something you feel might be wrong. Any of those things, those are things that you need to advocate for yourself and bring those up to your healthcare provider or to your caregivers to tell your healthcare provider. So thinking about where you would want to advocate for yourself, what are some places in the community that you'd want to advocate for yourself in?
At the doctor's office.
Right? Seth, can you think of anything else?
Um, let's see, work.
Work? Perfect. How would you advocate for yourself at work?
Like if I need something like off the shelf or something, I would ask for help.
Perfect. Yeah, there's lots of ways like that. If you're in a store and you need help finding an item, right? Speaking up and saying, "Hey, I need help." That's advocating for yourself too in a small, situation. Erin mentioned at doctor's appointments, kind of like I was saying before, if there's something wrong or something that you need from your doctor, that's speaking up for yourself and asking for those things, right? So this is really important because it helps you and those around you keep you healthy. And that's what we want. We really want to have whole body health, right? Mind and body wellness. So I'm going to pull up these tools that I created. Let me share my screen. Okay. So the first tool that I'm going to show you today to help you kind of organize your providers, all of your healthcare providers, is this lovely provider organizer. So the way that you'd use this is put your name at the top, and then you would list your multiple providers. So you might have a primary care provider, you might have an eye doctor, you might have some kind of specialist. So you'd put their names in here, their contact information in here, and then the diagnoses that they provided you, so you can keep every diagnosis straight, the medications that they gave you, and what schedule they told you to take that on. So if they gave you one medicine and told you to take it twice a day, you would write that in their section here. Any kind of treatment plan that they gave you, any rules to follow or suggestions, recommendations, and then signs that you would know that you needed to call them. So maybe your doctor would say, "Call me if you feel lightheaded on this medication." So you'd write this here as a reminder to call your provider. And this is just a guide to help you keep all those people straight in your life so that you can manage your healthcare more independently and help those that are helping you with your healthcare manage your healthcare more precisely, if that makes sense. And what you would do is just print this out, post it up on your, put it in a binder, post it up on your wall, whatever you felt like you needed to do, and then take it with you to your doctor's appointments to show your doctors who else is caring for you. And these are all on the website on the front page. The next one, and we'll go through this more in depth, but this is an appointment organizer. So there's a before you go section with some important questions that we'll get more in depth on in a minute. And then information from your appointment that you can use to fill out important information your doctor gives you. And I'll walk you through a scenario. We'll play a little game-ish to walk through this sheet. And then a lot of people said that they were having trouble with some insurance terms. So I made a little basic insurance term pamphlet. And every time you go visit a healthcare provider, you have to deal with some kind of insurance, right? So these are some terms that you might have seen, maybe been confused about, just a little back pocket guide that you can either print out and keep or reference on the website whenever you need it. Just of some common terms and terminology that you might be looking at. And then if you need some more, all of these links are clickable and it'll take you to their websites. We've got a bigger glossary of insurance terms. We've got a nice PDF version that has pictures, some visuals, all that kind of stuff, a visual guide on how to choose the best insurance plan, all that kind of stuff. So this would be a great resources to keep for yourself or to show your caregivers too, who might be managing insurance for you or helping you manage insurance. So let's pull up. Can you see this? The gym guy?
The gym. Wait, what?
Let me see. Hold on. I've got another sheet here. Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. I got to put these side by side so you can see them both at the same time. Okay. Let's try this again.
Yep. I can see the person. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Seth, you're going to be my main helper here.
Okay.
We are going to go through this scenario over here with my friend Jim. And we are going to fill out this form over here. We'll pretend we're filling out this form over here for our friend Jim, okay? To kind of give you an idea of how this form might work. And for all our friends watching at home, kind of show them a step-by-step guide on how to make this work for you guys, okay? All right. Okay. So his name is Jim, and he's planning on visiting his primary care doctor, Dr. Sandra, on March 10th, 2022. He is going to see her for his yearly exam. He's had a lot of headaches lately, and they hurt, so he'd like to see what she thinks they might be caused by. So we're going to go over here to the appointment organizer on this side. So his name up here is Jim. The date of his appointment is March 10th, 2022. Who is he going to see?
Dr. Sandra.
Perfect. And why is he going to see her?
For headaches.
He is going to see her for headaches, but he's going to see her for his yearly health exam, right?
Right.
And then down here, a new problem that he has, that would be the headaches, right?
Right.
So maybe we would fill that out that way. So he's going to see Dr. Sandra. He's going to see her because it's his yearly wellness appointment. Right. And then the new problem would be his headaches. All right. Do you want to read this next section?
Sure.
All right, go ahead.
During my exam, they always take me to the lab for blood work, but I never know what it is for. I don't like the needles. I don't want to do it if I don't have to. Last year, she diagnosed me with diabetes and gave me medicine to help control my blood sugar. I wonder what else I can do to help me stay at a normal blood sugar level. Maybe that is what is causing my headaches.
Perfect. All right. So in the section labeled Think About It, we're going to have some questions for the provider, maybe some things that we'd want to know. So what are some questions do you think that he would have for the provider here?
About his blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And diabetes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he might ask some questions about diabetes and his blood sugar. He might ask maybe why he's getting the blood test since he doesn't know, right?
Right.
Maybe she could help kind of guide him through that, make him less nervous about it. Seems like he's kind of nervous. And what else could he ask?
His headaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So asking maybe his blood sugar is causing his headaches. He thinks maybe that would be it. So those are some great questions to write down. So having these things filled out before he goes to the appointment is really going to help him advocate for himself, right? And let the
Right.
doctor know what's going on and what he needs from her today.
Right.
All right. So now we're going to scroll on down here. Oh, let me zoom out. Can you still see it if I zoom out like that?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So now, Seth, take it away on this first section here.
Okay, information from the appointment. Dr. Sandra gave me a lot of great information. I recorded her answering my questions on my phone so I could listen to it again if I needed to. She said my headaches might be caused by having too much or too little sugar in my body. She said my diabetes makes it hard for me to keep a good balance. She recommends I try to stay hydrated, focus on food groups with less sugar and more protein like eggs or nuts, and maybe some light exercise like walking around my neighborhood.
Perfect. All right. So we'll take that section first. So what does Jim need to do? And what did Dr. Sandra recommend for him?
She recommended she said she said the headaches could be caused by having too much or too little sugar in his body.
Perfect. So what does he need to do for that?
She recommends stay hydrated, focus on food groups with less sugar and more protein like eggs or nuts.
Perfect. Love that. She also said maybe walking around the neighborhood could help. All those are great things to write in what the provider recommended so that you could remember later on, look back and see that, oh, Dr. Sandra said this before, so you don't forget. Okay, I think that was the only thing in that section. All right, let's read this last section here.
Alrighty. Dr. Sandra said if my headaches don't go away, she might change my medicine, but to stay on what she gave me for now. I need to follow up with her in 4 weeks if my headaches haven't gone away. Otherwise, I will see her again next year. If I don't follow her recommendations of changing my diet and exercise, my headaches might not go away and I will keep feeling bad. She recommended a website to help me find resources for diabetes management in my community.
Perfect. All right, so let's take that information and look at these sections here. So any new medications or treatments, and what are some side effects? Was there any new medications she gave to him?
She said just change his medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she said to change his medicine if what?
If his headaches don't go away.
Perfect. Yeah. So right now, I don't think she's going to change his medication. So that would be really important for him to remember, right? To keep taking his medications. So does he need to follow up with anybody?
Follow up with her in for what was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, if I don't follow up with her. Oh, 4 weeks.
Perfect. Yep. If those headaches don't go away, he needs to see her again in 4 weeks, which is really important for him to remember. So we'll write that down here for him. And then just in case he can't remember why it's important, he might want to write down in this section what might happen if he doesn't follow the recommendations. So what might happen if he doesn't follow her treatment plan today?
She said, by the way, she said, if I don't follow recommendations of changing my diet and exercise, she said the headaches might not go away and he will keep feeling bad. She recommended a website to help him find resources for diabetes management in his community.
Perfect. So yeah, so he would write down maybe I'd keep feeling bad or my headaches won't go away if I don't, follow Dr. Sandra's plan. Some people might have a little more to write there, but that's all there is for Jim today. So then the website, he might write down the website that she gave him in the other notes down here so that he would remember to go visit that the next time that he needs some help with diabetes management in his community. Okay, the last important piece of this is the self-check. So in his case, he would go through and he would look and he'd ask himself, do I understand my health information? I think he did a pretty good job. I think he gets it. And I think that he asked all the right questions for Dr. Sandra. Does he understand his treatment plan or recommendations? I think he covered that as well. What do you think, Seth?
Yep, I think he did.
I think so too. Does he know what to do next? If he needs to do anything next?
Yes.
I think so. And he knows who to contact, right? He's going to talk to Dr. Sandra. Perfect. So he can check all these off and be good to go on his checklist. And so the next time he needs to remember his health information or remember what the doctor said, he can go back to this information here and also bring it to his next appointments to remind Dr. Sandra what she told him last time. Do you think that would be helpful, Seth? Something like that? Would you use something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I see like I see we call it physician or something, like regular doctor. So like if I have a question about something, he's usually good about like answering like off the bat, like what he thinks it might be or something. So
good. Yeah, that's awesome. We just have those up so that maybe some of your athlete friends that might have trouble, maybe you can advocate for them and show them those resources too. So they're up on the website on the main page right now. Eventually they'll be in the health and fitness section when the website gets redone. But right now they're on the main page. And you and all of the athletes have access to those. So it'd be great if we could spread the word about those and get those out to all the athletes so that everybody could participate in their health.
I think it'd be super helpful. I know for me, like I always have questions for my doctor, but I don't write them down or anything. So I get to the doctor and I'm like, well, I don't even know what I was going to ask because I can't remember. So having something like that, even in front of me, just whenever I had a random question to go over and jot it down really quick so I could remember to ask my doctor questions when I go, I think that would be super helpful just for me. Seth, do you ever feel like you have a bunch of questions to ask your doctor and you can never remember once you get there?
I'm like sometimes, not all the time, but like sometimes like if because like sometimes I get headaches, and so because my oldest brother is what do you call it, lactose, and so he gets headaches a lot, and so me and my brother are like basically the same, like we both get headaches a lot, and so
So
but
that might be
I'm not
something
lactose, but he is. My brother's lactose, but I'm not. So
right. That might be
so
something you could put in the questions to ask section, something just to mention to your doctor and say, hey, I'm getting a lot of headaches. Do you know why? Or do you know what it could be? I think that's great.
I think those would be super helpful, not just for athletes, but honestly
Oh,
for
yeah.
anybody. So
Oh yeah, they're for everybody. Yeah. If you have anybody in your life that could use they're free to use all up on the website. Yeah.
Seth, maybe what is one time that either you've seen yourself advocate for yourself, or maybe you've seen a friend advocate for themselves? It doesn't have to be at the doctor, it could be anywhere. So, what's maybe a time recently where you could remember advocating for yourself?
driving came for myself. That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Usually at home or at work or um, with my family usually.
How do you advocate for yourself with your family? Could you give me an example?
Like for instance, like if I need my brother to get me something like that's on the top shelf or something when I'm with my family, like our family like house. And if I'm not tall, because I'm not tall enough to reach, yeah, so I'm short. So
Yeah. I know for me, when I was younger, I hated melted cheese because it grossed me out when it was all stringy. So I know when I was a kid, I had to advocate for myself every single time we went out to dinner because I wanted to make sure nobody had stringy cheese in front of me. So even just something as small as that, I was young and I was advocating for myself because I knew that I would get grossed out by stringy cheese at dinner.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's even
important
just
to stand up.
right. It's even just small things like that. You don't think about how often you could advocate for yourself for that you do, but you can do it every day and you should do it every day,
Absolutely.
Seth, what do you think the importance is about advocating for yourself though? Why do you think it's so important?
important, like to speak up, and if you need something, speak up.
Mhm.
Yeah, because what if it was something really, really serious? What if all of a sudden you couldn't breathe, but you were, too embarrassed to say something about it or something? You know what I mean?
Right.
But it could also be something as small as Aaron's stringy cheese, you know?
Right.
Beth, do you have any questions for Raquel about advocating for yourself or any resources that she might have to help?
Not right now. I mean, with me living in a group home, basically we have staff here that take care of us, and
Mhm.
so like we can advocate for ourselves. Like for instance, like if we want something from the grocery store, we tell them what we want,
Mhm.
and so that's where we have staff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Did
definitely
they
share
make
these.
it?
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, Raquel.
Oh, I just was gonna say, if they would benefit from these resources, they're welcome to use these as well. You can definitely spread the word and advocate for your health in that way too, saying, "Hey, could you use this with me to keep my appointments organized, or with some of your friends in the group home too, if anybody would find them useful."
Right.
It's
They
all free
my
and open.
roommates are Special Olympics athletes as well. So
Cool.
yeah.
That's awesome. Seth, last question for you. I was gonna ask, the workers that are at your group home, do you feel like they make it easy for you to stand up for yourself?
Oh, definitely yes. Every single day,
Good.
yes.
Perfect. That's
Good.
what we want to hear. So what if maybe they made it difficult? How do you feel like you would go about it if they were different and maybe they made it hard for you?
We actually we had two staff here that basically treated us really horribly, and they both like I wouldn't say, well, kind of stepped down slash got fired for treating us really bad and calling us names, and they were boyfriend girlfriend, and so they treated us really bad, and so they both stepped down because the girlfriend basically decided to move to California and take him with her. And so before she left, she was our house mother for like
Sure.
maybe
Mhm.
2-3 months, and then like she would have house meeting after house meeting, and she's like, "You guys are treating the other staff horribly, and all this, and blah blah blah." And so
Yeah.
yeah,
So somebody must have stood up and said something for them to get fired or for them to step down. Because if they wouldn't have, then there's a good chance that nobody would have known they were treating you bad, right?
right,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think in those instances, even if it's small or if it's big, like something treating you horrible, you don't ever deserve to be treated like that unless
right,
maybe it was warranted, unless maybe you did something. But I don't think you guys did anything to warrant that. So yeah, it could be something that big or it could be something tiny, like just needing to go to the grocery store. So that's awesome, Seth. Thank you.
yep.
Yeah, thank
All
you so
right,
much,
Seth.
Seth.
Let's give Raquel a big round of applause, Seth.
Yay.
Thanks, Raquel. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have any last messages before we go here?
I don't. Thank you so much, Seth, for participating
Yep,
and being a
no
great
problem.
reader, filling out the sheet for me. So appreciate it.
When do you need me back?